Happy new week, guys. So let's quickly run through some setups that I'm looking at this week. Starting with Euro USD, we are still overall bullish, but as you can see, we are kind of stalling in this sort of range. So I'm still waiting for a push down into this demand zone. We have some nice liquidity forming above it. So just waiting to react to this and obviously head towards the swing highs. GU is quite interesting because we swept the highs. So we had the liquidity grab I was waiting for. So I'll get rid of that. Then we had the minor break in structure, a nice supply, and yeah, since last week we were already waiting for a reaction from this supply. I don't have a entry yet. Some things I'm looking at, particularly on the 5 minute. I'm looking at more entries on the 5 minute recently, just because it has a bit nicer price action than 15 minute. But essentially, what I'm waiting for is a liquidation of this zone. So some people might be entering from maybe this refined supply right now. I want to see a liquidation basically above this. So let's mark that. And then I want price to basically break up higher, give us that minor break, and then I'll look for a fresh supply. But I'm essentially waiting for a liquidation first, whether it be this one or heading up higher into one of the higher supply zones. But until we form sort of a liquidity grab and a new fresh supply, I'm not looking for entries just yet. So I'll be waiting for price to move up a little bit higher first. On ADUSD, you can see here that we are currently giving a reaction to this 4-hour supply. However, price is bullish. So we should be taking out the highs overall. If we go on, let's see, the 15 or the 5 will be pretty much the same. You can see that we had the minor break and then the supply. And then what happened? People got liquidated over here. There is an extreme supply here, which kind of got tapped into. So it's the same sort of thing. I'm waiting for liquidation of the people that entered here and this supply, and essentially for price to come up, take out all these people and break that high over here, and then yeah, we can look for that fresh supply zone and look for the retracement shorts, because after we take out the high, price obviously needs to start coming back down to about 50% of the range, right? Whatever that new range will be. So currently waiting for that. NZD USD, I don't really like it because we are currently in a very small range. This is the high and low, but if we go on the 15 or the 5 minute, you'll see that refined supply over there. So yes, you could look for shorts. I'd prefer to wait for liquidation since we are in such a tiny range at the moment. So let's see, there's no supply in this sort of move, so I'd wait for price to come. Well, maybe tap into here and then create some sort of new supply pattern as well. So yeah. I mean, we can look at gold. Still waiting for that extreme supply. So I did mention that, the supply here could be weak since it's the middle of the range. And you can see liquidity forming above these highs. So as always, the extreme supply is the most high probability. So not looking at anything, but waiting for shorts once we reach this extreme supply. USD JPY. We have a supply over here, or you can take this less refined zone, which we have tapped into, so we can look for shorts. However, we have 15-minute supply, which price is currently reacting to. I'm currently looking at the 5-minute though, because I kind of want a liquidation of this high over here, and I want to see a new supply form before I take my entries. USD CAD is still bearish overall, but we just had that minor break, so we're starting the retracement. Not necessary to reach these supply zones, but we can at least target 50% of this move. But you can see there's some really nice impulsive bearish movement here, which basically creates liquidity. So it is quite a high probability to aim for the supply zone, at least over here. And this is obviously some nice liquidity for this higher supply zone as well. So yeah, I'm currently looking at longs. We obviously had this 4-hour demand. We're also, whether you look at 5 or 15, it's the same, but have that minor break, reaction to the demand. I didn't enter yet over here because, as always, waiting for liquidation first, some sort of liquidity grab before entering from a fresh zone. Price has obviously moved up a lot higher, so we'll be waiting for price to return down here at least, since we have nice liquidity over here. So it's a bit of a game of patience today. A lot of nice setups forming. It is Monday, so it's typical to get more setups, but not actual entries yet. That comes later in the week usually. I'm also looking at Euro JPY. I mean, we should just waiting for the highs to get broken over here. We swept this low, so price is still bullish overall. So waiting for the retracement. Let's see if we do come all the way down here to this demand, but obviously first targets would just be the 50%. Euro AUD, not sure why that is marked. It's not really interesting, to be honest. GJ has been reacting nicely, following supply, but I'm currently still waiting for shorts because I want more liquidation, a liquidity grab first, basically. You can see on the 15 or maybe more clearly on the 5-minute. This was an entry that I marked, but I didn't take it because, yeah, we grabbed liquidity above these highs. But I would prefer to see liquidity being grabbed above supply first. So, for example, this is the current price, the current supply that price is reacting to. This is the next one. I still haven't entered any of these yet. What I'd want to see is maybe this time price finally comes in and breaks this high or this supply and then creates fresh supply to enter from. So I want a liquidity grab above either of these supplies first before taking an entry. GBP, CAD, same thing. It's bearish. We have this nice supply zone, nice liquidity forming below. So I'll wait for price to reach in here and give a setup, right? Typical liquidity grab and then supply, the same sort of thing. So that's all the pairs that I'm looking at for this week or currently. I'm curious if any of you have entered these setups yet, or you're waiting for liquidity grabs first, like me. So let me know, and yeah, make sure to join the Discord. So I'll be sending my updates in there as price develops. And yeah, thanks for watching.